Good morning. Let's talk strategy, success, and failure. And no, like I do mostly, I don't rehearse these videos, but I do get the information. So, my TikTok has 2,576 followers. My Instagram has 917 followers. And my YouTube has 2,003 followers for a total of 5,496. Stay with me. As of January 1st, as of January 31st, 2025, there are 14,247,423 registered voters. Republicans make up 5,643,100. Democrats make up 4,463,592. The minority parties make up 431,269, and the no party affiliation makes up 3,709,462. Those are registered voters. The state of Florida estimates 23,370,000 people. That would mean that in the numbers, from registered voters to the amount of people that are here, there are 9,122,577 that you have to equate to be children or adults that did not register to vote yet. So understand that even in the realm of non party affiliated, are we there yet? So we talk success, we talk failure, we talk strategy. Success, putting out the message, trying to ensure that, hey, my message is citizens need legislative authority. Is it successful? To a certain extent, yes, it is. Because you have to look at how does a candidate value success. Right now, you say, hey, are people getting the message? Are they responding to the message? Are they interacting with the message? But I have to be clear. Success for me is also ensuring that the message is bigger than the messenger. Yes, I want to work for you to bring legislative authority that is power to the citizen. And I want it to be bigger than me, but I still have to say, do you remember my name? What do you remember the name? You can't go to the voting booth if I don't get enough petitions and say, what was that guy that wanted to give me power, and not remember that my name is up there, Rodney C. Glover, so you can write it down. So that's how I'm measuring success. I have to measure success based on what I am seeing. And I'm not asking for money. So I'm not measuring my success by finances, because I said when I ran for office, when I said I was going to run for office, that I did not want finances. And let me tell you that it cost a ton to get in these paper advertisements. I mean, we're talking $1,750 a day just to get a small ad in the paper that says, hey, by the way, I'm running for governor of Florida. Failures. Failures are, to me, when individuals say that they're going to send a message and they don't. Hey, you'll get their phones, you'll stand right next to them, you'll scroll down, because today you have to figure out if individuals are even real. And then you never hear from them, or they say, oh, I just forgot. And then you have to ask yourself, hey, is the message actually bigger than people wanting to point the finger? Please stay with me. Don't just get off the video, because we talked about success, failure, and now the strategy. Take a look around. I just reported not too long ago to citizens, hey, by the way, there were checks and balances put in place so that the government could go back to normal functionality. And Democrats and Republicans in the House and the Senate can figure things out. And I reported that under the National Emergency Act, that Republicans through Resolution 25, this is at the federal level, through Resolution 25, push that power away to bring it back. And now we look at the continuing resolution bill, and you got Democrats and Republicans going head to head again. Strategy. We're seeing all of these strategies that we never seen employed before. one strategy we've always seen used is to keep pitting citizens, whether they're Republican, Democrat, minority parties, or non-party affiliated, against one another, and it always works. Look at the comments. Look at the comments on anything that you look at, and you see it. Democrats feel like you had a chance to fight back while it being explained to you a lose-lose situation. Now, if everything is going bad, and let's just say it is, hey, everything's going bad. The Democrats said, hey, let's not let it go bad as fast as possible. Let's make it have to go bad at a pace, but at least one that is manageable. That's a lose-lose, ladies and gentlemen. That is a lose-lose. That's what they were saying. Now you have Americans that are saying, let's all lose right now. Let's tear it down. And do what next? Look, you have to consider that, because this is the power that legislative authority puts in your hand. That's why it's very interesting, because legislative authority is going to give you the power to have to consider exactly what you're doing. You don't get to point the finger right now. Chuck Schumer's getting the finger pointed at him. The Republican House representatives getting their fingers pointed at them. Everybody gets to point the finger. What I want to do is put it in citizens' hand, because citizens are the only one that's not being asked. Now, they say, hey, y'all don't do any more town halls because y'all are getting tore up at those town halls. So you saw a minor decrease in town halls, but I think there should have been an increase. I think that if you believe in a plan, you should get behind it and stand behind it. I had a chance Wednesday to go to the Capitol. Like I said, I went up to Tallahassee. I saw Voices of Florida. They're out there and they are protesting. They're saying, hey, women's bodies should belong to women. It should not belong to the government to decide what happens to women's bodies. First thing I'm thinking to myself is, look at this. And they had this chant, this is, what are we? And this is democracy, And I'm thinking to myself, this is a result of a lack of democracy. All this protesting is a result of a lack of democracy. It's a result of a lack of access that citizens has, success, failures, and strategies. Whenever we have citizens out here protesting, it's because we lack authority. We lack a voice. We lack representation. Voices of Florida is out here. And when you see any protesters out here, they're saying, my voice is lacking authority. That's failure on our government's part to address it. So how does the government address it? How did they address it? 57% of Floridians voted for women to control themselves. Let's just get that out the way. 57% voted for it. But we, strategy, have a 60% threshold. You see, strategy. Strategy is being employed, and you have to know the rules. How many people even knew before it was reported that, hey, you can strategize a way to not follow the calendar year on a specific issue and make that issue now go out to a year. So you have 15 years essentially to address an issue. Crazy strategy. And they used it. And when you had the majority to pass your strategy, whether you think it's good or bad, they had the majority to pass the strategy. And then they took it a step further and said, hey, now all of y'all are off for the week. So we don't want anyone else to even be able to bring this up again. Filibusters are strategies. They're strategies to be utilized. The only thing and the argument is Democrats are too weak and Republicans got all this power. But Republicans keep saying, even though we have all this power and we don't have to ask House Democrats for assistance, we still want them to be on board. Why? Why would you want them to be a part of something they say they're not? So you still have Democrats that are not giving the onus, giving the full onus to House representatives to represent what's going on, strategy, because the Senate numbers are not the same. The Senate does need Democrat assistance to get bills across. And even there is a sense of no unification, because you're going to have Democrats that say no, and you're going to have Democrats that say yes, in a system where Democrats are coming out consistently saying that this isn't good. But there's worse. Do you understand? This is not good, and I don't want this. But there's worse than this if we don't do this, because we've been forced into this corner. And you know who helped force this issue? Citizens. Citizens help force this issue because citizens don't have legislative authority on any level of government. That's strategy. Strategy was to make citizens feel involved, because we go through a voting process and we make it a very big deal. And then when citizens don't hear their voices, they got to get out here and protest. You see the strategy in that? Success, failures, and strategies. These people, these individuals, they are smart. Let's take the EPA, for instance. EPA, when has deregulation been good for citizens? Come on. We don't have lobbyists lobbying. We didn't have companies paying off scientists not to give correct data or to say that something was good when it was bad. Come on now, because of regulations, we found out that we had PFOAs in our environment that created cancer. And we're thinking that, hey, we should just deregulate, because the EPA deregulated 31 areas. And then there's the strategy of the dollar figure. We're saving money. America's gonna be rich, and no one tells a single citizen how they're gonna see that money. Strategy. I tell y'all, 1982, the Interdepartmental Fund was the first time that they said, hey, on paper, we're gonna take money from Social Security and use it for other things. And we're not even gonna have a plan to pay it back, but it's gonna be good for you. Strategy. And now they're saying, hey, this Social Security thing is a problem. Well, why is it a problem when everybody's paying into it? It was a problem because people borrowed from it and never put the money back. Because it wasn't corporations that borrowed from it. It was the government that borrowed from it and never put the money back. Strategy. They just don't talk about it. Information is important, and we try to put out the information. I see it all the time. I don't care whether it's TikTok or YouTube. My Instagram, not so much. But TikTok and YouTube, there's always somebody putting out information, because information is key to making an informed decision. Success, failures, and strategies. And you got to start looking at it that way. So give me some trust that I'm trying to put citizens in a position to be able to utilize strategy, to go out, meet up, make plans, and give your voice authority, so you do not have to scream on the bottom of the Capitol steps to a door that's closed, because it means that much to me, because that's what's going on. I give kudos to every group out here that is protesting, that is fighting for citizens. But if we don't get legislative authority for citizens, we're just going to be standing at the bottom of closed doors to a group of representatives that aren't even listening. And we got to change the strategy. You guys have a great day.